When it comes to making financial decisions, families and businesses make many predictions, often based on the way things are grouped. And that can lead to people making unwise choices. Dr. Aaron Bruff is an assistant professor of marketing at the John M. Huntsman School of Business at Utah State University. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Dave. Good to be here.
When we say grouped, what are we talking about?
Well, so this research is about predictions, and we make predictions in lots of different aspects of our lives, whether it's health, relationships, sports, politics, finances. And one of the things that we've found, my co-author Matt Isaac and I have done a series of experiments where we've looked at how people make predictions, and we've found that people's predictions can be biased by the way that things are grouped. And so to answer your question, one example of what we mean by groups is things are often grouped by color. And so in one experiment, we gave participants a lottery ticket that was colored. And most of the tickets were blue, some of the tickets were yellow. And what we found is that when people had a blue ticket, because there were a lot of blue tickets, they felt like they were more likely to win the lottery. And even though every ticket was equally likely to be selected in reality. And in fact, they were so confident in this belief that they were willing to wager 25% more than participants holding a yellow ticket.
Interesting.
And so this is an example of what we call the category size bias.
So why do guys like me go with the big group?
So the idea, what we think is going on here is that people correctly reason that if there are a lot of blue tickets, the winning ticket is likely to be blue. Where they go wrong is when they say this specific ticket, which happens to be blue, therefore must be the winning ticket or more likely to win. And that's not accurate because, of course, the color has no bearing on which ticket will be selected.
All right, let's stay with the lottery thing because we can all understand it. Everyone has a chance, I guess, in a lottery. But when we make business decisions, we want to look for things that give us a little better of a chance than pure luck, right?
Sure, sure.
And your study found that out?
Yeah, so we looked at not just games of chance, but also games of skill and assessments of risk. And so here's another experiment. We looked at an athletic competition, which involves skill as well. And in that case, we found that people thought that a basketball team was more likely to win the NCAA tournament if the team's mascot had been grouped with the mascots of many other teams rather than few other teams. And they thought it was less likely to win if it had been grouped with few. And so this is just like the ticket color shouldn't matter, the way a mascot is categorized shouldn't matter, but it does. And we find the same thing regardless of the domain in which we're testing.
I usually go with who's got the power forward that nobody can stop. That seems to be. Now, Forbes magazine just interviewed you because everyone's interested in this study and the findings there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So Forbes was particularly interested in a study we ran where we asked people to estimate the likelihood that a bank would be one of the top gainers in a Japanese stock index. And we chose a bank because the financial services industry can be defined very narrowly as just banks or very broadly by adding things like stock brokerages, insurance companies, credit card providers. And so we told half of the participants that the Shizuoka Bank was one of a large group of 98 financial services companies. And the other half of participants, we told them that the Shizuoka Bank was one of only 12 financial services companies. And being part of the larger group significantly increased the bank's perceived chance of being one of the top gainers across the entire index.
All right, last question I have for you. How does all this help mom and dad make better financial decisions?
That's a good question. So first, I think it helps them to be aware that the way things are grouped might influence their predictions when they're making financial decisions or other types of decisions. And secondly, if we rely less on categorization, our predictions may be more accurate. So for instance, in that bank study, we took a separate group of participants and tried to get them to rely a little bit less on categorization by asking them to think about some ways that financial companies differ from one another, even though they're part of the same industry. And when we did that, the bias completely disappeared.
It's good to know about the bias. Dr. Bruff, congratulations on your research. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
There are a lot of websites that offer access to free movies and television shows. But many families are unaware about what can happen when you let these sites stream into your home. Debbie Dujanovic explains how a free download could end up costing you a lot more than you ever expected.
You would probably never consider sneaking your family into a movie theater, but a recent poll by Business Insider found 14% of people admitted to streaming unlicensed content.
Did Elsa build you?
Yeah, why?
Last year, everyone wanted to build a snowman.
Yeah.
Then word spread. Families could watch Frozen for free on Watch 32 while it was still in theaters. We discovered the site is hosted on a German web server. Owners claim it's all legal. We took the issue straight to an expert, intellectual property rights attorney, John Stringham.
Anytime you see a site where it's still in theaters and you're getting it for free, 99.9% of the time that's illegal.
And here's why. When you download even part of a file, it counts as a copy of copyrighted material.
So really this hits in two areas of copyright. One is distribution rights, which they're violating, and then the copying being made.
Hollywood recently went after Watch 32 and other similar movie websites in a UK court and won. But it is hard to get these sites blocked in the U.S.
You must remember your
So what about those shows you can watch for free on TV? You just want to watch them ahead of schedule. This American blogger posted step-by-step directions for watching Downton Abbey. The way I view it, she said, people in the UK are watching them legally online. Therefore, I should be able to, even if an ocean away. Wrong.
The fact that I can get it from the UK doesn't mean I'm not violating the copyright laws.
PBS owns the U.S. distribution rights, and they're cracking down. We talked to a Utah blogger who received this notice informing her they would pursue all legal actions available. And here's something else to consider.
You wouldn't invite organized crime into your house, but when you use these sites, you're essentially providing them with seed money. And the big money isn't coming from ad revenue, it's coming from you.
The moment I'm streaming to your computer, I have total access to your computer, and that, to me, is one of the bigger dangers, not to mention the viruses.
That's right. Download a movie and you just might give a thief a ticket to your entire identity.
So the easiest way to protect your household is to stay off these sites. There is a bill pending in Congress right now that would make unauthorized movie streaming a felony for the person hosting the file.
Debbie Dujanovic reporting for us this morning. For a generation that's growing up online, a look at how the internet can affect how teenagers form their identities. That's next on Deseret News National Edition.